guys, and welcome to another HitFilm Q&A. Let's go. Josh Shaw asks, please can you do a video on how to get into the filmmaking industry?
This is a really hard one to answer. I think everybody we know has got into the industry in different ways. Some of them are stunt performers, some of them are editors, some of them are cinematographers. And it really depends what's important to you. Getting into anything creative is really, really hard. And we know a lot of these guys went to film school and they found it really useful and it helped them learn lots of different things and then work out what they wanted to do. But equally, a ton of them dropped out of film school and still did well, and then another load of them didn't even go to film school. Looking at it from the outside, the only thing that's common between all of these people is the amount of commitment that they put in. It was their life's ambition to be in film, and that's how they made it happen. Another thing they all did is they networked. So whether that's going to film contests that they've entered, or whether it's going to local clubs or trying to get involved with local productions, they all networked as hard as they could to find that contact that was going to give them that opportunity to get into the industry. Good luck. If you really want it, you can make it happen. Dirk Scholler asks, I have a question. Is HitFilm planning on adding any sort of audio syncing features in their next installment? Or are there any recommendations for any syncing software?
We are already looking at adding some audio syncing features in future versions of HitFilm, and Josh does know about it despite the face he's making. So there you go. Stay tuned.
Watch this space.
Brickle J asks, how do you make a text message effect, like where you can see the message besides the actor and it looks like a text message?
Well, you could just go to Google Image and download something from there of what a text should look like, but I wouldn't do it that way. In HitFilm, I'd actually probably have just a semi-transparent solid as the background, maybe make it grey and then 50% transparent, and then have a different text element for the name, and then for the time, and then the actual text itself, and then just transition them all coming in with keyframes separately, and there's some tutorials about keyframes somewhere here. A show that did this really well is House of Cards. In season 1 they had all sorts of text popping up. They didn't look like a candy button like they do on an iPhone. They're very, very subtle, just with these transparent backgrounds, and they look beautiful and didn't distract from the show itself. Blue Exile asks, please make a tutorial on how to put your face over gameplay, please!
We do have a couple of tutorials already about recording and editing gameplay footage by Simon. Do check them out because it talks about converting the footage and putting it into HitFilm. You can do this in HitFilm by dragging in the gameplay footage onto track 1 of your editing timeline and then dragging in the recorded footage on top of that. Now it's going to look a bit weird because your recorded footage is going to take up the whole screen, but what you need to do is go into the toolbox in HitFilm and adjust the transform properties. Now you can scale it down to about 20% of its original size, and then you can use the position properties to put it in the bottom left or the top right, wherever you want your recorded footage to be. It really is as simple as that. TheBombTV.07 Space Nice asks, I'm making a Martian Manhunter fan film. Could you guys do tutorials on how to make your film look sci-fi?
Well, we should do some tutorials on this, and that just sounds awesome. Martian Manhunter, do tell us when it's done. I'd love to see it. If you look at the DC stuff recently, it's kind of been grungy and dirty looking, whereas the older stuff is kind of bright and vibrant. So it kind of depends where you're going. First thing is, get the footage right even before you put it in the software. If you can make it look nice there, have lots of depth in it, that's going to help it look cinematic. Also, if you're going for sci-fi, maybe get some sort of teal tones in there, some metal colors in there as well. It will help when it comes to the grade. But the better the camera footage is, the better the end result. Now, once you get that footage into HitFilm, what can you do to make it look more cinematic? Well, if you've got film looks, you could use Cine Style, and that's going to help a great deal. But if you haven't got that, you could use some contrast, make it look a little bit more edgy, add some saturation or reduce it if you want it to look like the newer films. You can add the black bars top and bottom. It's a bit of a cheat, but it does work to make it look more cinematic. And you could also add some noise, but be quite sparing with this. A good rule of thumb here is to get the grade how you want it, but then actually dial it back. We become so blind to the grading that we've done that sometimes we can't see that we've gone too far. If you can dial it back 25% and it still looks good, then you're probably in a good place. Troy I Not L asks, how can I add meme faces onto my vids? Example, troll face.
So when you're Googling troll face or other meme faces, you're going to want to be looking for a PNG image. You need the background to be transparent. So you're going to need an alpha on this, and you can tell whether or not it has one by the checkerboard that's behind the image. If you can't find one of those and you do have to bring in a JPEG, for example, you can use masks to get rid of the color on the outside so that you can use it within your shot. If you do want to be tracking a meme face onto something that's moving at any point, then you can use HitFilm Express's 2D tracking features, and we've got a tutorial in the description below for you to use. 95 Turbo Sol asks, I would love it if someone would release a project file we could download as a template, then just link our music and a background.
So we kind of try and do this with stuff like Heads Up and Portal Combat, but we're also just trying to make the software better for making templates all the time. Luckily, one of our great users, InScape Digital, has put together a website where a bunch of other users of HitFilm have come together and uploaded loads of templates and presets and just generally cool stuff. Go and check it out. It's all free.
We can't believe it, we've just surpassed 90,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which means that our community is getting bigger and bigger and we're getting to meet more and more of you. It's absolutely fantastic, and do subscribe if you haven't already. Come and join the club.
And we get a silver play button, right, if we get to 100,000?
100,000, yeah.